24 hours. So that means that the sun goes around the Earth, or, well, in my perspective, that's not how it happens. But
Yeah, I know.
we don't have to go in. That's just going to make everything confusing. But we can agree that a day is always 24 hours. Great. Now, we know that the amount of daylight that an area gets is not always the same, right? Like, it'll be, if you live in, the days are shorter in the winter and longer in the summer, for example, right? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Here's the problem. When it's summer in the southern hemisphere and the sun is down by the Tropic of
Capricorn.
Cancer,
Capricorn is south of the equator.
yeah, that's Capricorn. So
Yeah.
when it's summer in the southern hemisphere and the sun is down by the Tropic of Capricorn, that is a bigger circle than when it's at the Tropic of Cancer in the north, right?
Yeah, it goes faster.
Faster. What that would mean is that if you're in the southern hemisphere when it's summertime, because the sun is moving faster, the days would be shorter. That's the exact opposite of what happens.
Days would be shorter in the southern hemisphere?
During the summer, yes, because the sun has to move faster. So the sun would, here's you,
Yeah.
the sun is moving faster, so it would come and go quicker in the summertime, so the days would actually be shorter.
Yeah, you're talking about like places like Antarctica and Ushuaia, right?
I'm talking about anywhere in the southern hemisphere during the summertime. We can just pick, it doesn't have to be that at all. We can just pick some place that is on the Tropic of Capricorn. For example, I can't name any off the top of my head. I would assume India. Tropic of Capricorn. This map doesn't give me that. So Angola, Zambia, Mozambique, Madagascar, Papua New Guinea, northern parts of Australia. Why did I say India? That's in the northern hemisphere. I'm so stupid. Peru, Bolivia, Rio de Janeiro. So, problem is, we know for a fact that that's like the exact opposite of the case.
Right. But like, I don't know if you're aware, but like, if you like get a flat Earth map and you put a like a translucent dome over it and then shine a small flashlight onto it, it shifts and changes, which is to what we see in reality, the light pattern. I don't know if you know that. Because
what did that prove?
That whole, what do you mean? What did that prove? You said, because I don't know. You said in order for your thing to work, or in order for mine to work, the light would be shorter, or the days would be shorter, whatever.
Yeah, because the sun's moving faster, so it will come and go from any location in the southern hemisphere faster, because the sun has to move faster in order to go around the Earth in 24 hours. So the days would be shorter in the summer.
And in the summer for those in Australia?
Anybody in the southern hemisphere.
Well, yeah, that's what we see.
No, that's the opposite of what we see. The days are longest in the summer.
Only in Antarctica.
No, everywhere in the world, the days are longer in the summer.
Well, a summer for what? Because it depends.
Summer for that hemisphere.
Okay.
Yeah. Like where I live, during the summertime, there's like, 16 hours of daylight or whatever it is. Probably closer to like 15. But in the wintertime, there's only about 9. Right?
That's what I was talking about.
That's how it works. No, it's not what you're talking. Well, it was, but you said that only applies to Antarctica. It does not.
No, yeah, and
only apply to
Ushuaia,
Antarctica.
and places like Ushuaia as well. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. If you shine light, like you do a little experiment and shine light on a dome, the light from the flashlight will like shift It's on. It's on. You know who Eric Dubay is? It's on his YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
he's a raving anti-Semite. I know.
Uh, well, discussion.
What does that mean? Whether or not he's an
I'm.
anti-Semite?
That's just that subject, and I don't want to get into that.
Well, are you one?
No, chill out.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, how come flat earthers are?
It's just one guy, bro.
The guy that you sorted or sourced,
Well,
cited.
I know he has the video on his channel. It's called "How Can Ushuaia Get 17 Hours of Daylight on Flat Earth?"
Sure. How can
Just go to.
Antarctica get 24 hours?
It's the same thing in his video. The light wraps around the whole thing
How?
when you shine it. When you shine it through,
How does it do that?
when you shine, that's just how the light does it. Like when it shines through
That's
the.
just how it does it?
Well, I don't know what to. Well, you could see it for yourself. This is not just me saying it. Go to his video.
So this is, yeah, well, it doesn't, we don't need to have his, plus I don't platform
Well,
anti-Semites. So we don't need to have his, we can just use this. There's 24 hours of daylight in Antarctica. You tell me how the sun can be in this spot over here and magically send light to the opposite side of the
okay.
flat Earth
There's
while
no.
not delivering light to any place here. I get what you're saying. It just wraps around. How the hell does sunlight wrap around and curve around over here, illuminating this place without illuminating anything in between when the sun is over here? I wish I could
Okay.
actually pause this.
Even all right. Even if like it did do that, video for Antarctica sun.
There's all kinds of videos, but you just say no.
No, I'm
But
not. There,
you,
dude.
right.
You
So
gotta be
you
kidding
did
me.
not disagree that Antarctica does get 24 hours of sunlight. You just gave a
Well,
really
maybe daylight.
crappy
I mean,
explanation for
I don't know about
how it
sunlight.
occurs. Oh,
If
here we
it
go.
if it
Perfect.
does, yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah.
This is
How
how he responded to it.
how is this possible? How does light
It's
do
on my
this?
YouTube channel.
How does light do this?
It's on my YouTube channel. The video,
Right.
because I
So
already
the
told you
question
when it
is, the
shines
question I
through.
didn't ask you whether or not a video exists. I asked you, how is that possible?
Because when the light from the sun shines through the dome, it wraps around and occur.
How?
And
Why?
what do you mean why and how? It's
Why does it do that? What magically makes the light only go this far from here to here, but travel so much farther from here to here?
just depends what height the sun's at and what
So you're
line
telling
of.
me that if I grab a flashlight, depending on how high I get it, I can make the flashlight spread rays
If you have a
unequal
dome on top of the
distances?
map, if you have a dome on top of the map, yes, it's on my YouTube channel of me doing it.
How
That's
does it
literally.
work?
What do you mean? How does it work? You can see it for yourself. That's
I
just how
didn't.
light
Yeah,
goes
seeing
through.
something and explaining how it works are two different things. So we can observe that there is sunlight for 24 hours in Antarctica sometimes, and you can draw a picture of light bending and curving around, and you can make a
I'm
plastic
not.
model the size of a kitchen table that mimics the same thing. But what I'm interested in is you explaining how it works.
How it works.
Yep. Because I can tell
It's on
you
my YouTube channel.
using a globe model, I can tell you exactly why this happens. It's not even remotely hard.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's on my.
okay, so
Why
you,
don't
you
you want to go,
acknowledge that
dude?
we using a globe
You're
model, we
wasting your time,
can
bro.
describe how this happens and you can't.
Dude, I can.
Then do it.
I just did.
No, you didn't. You said it's
I
on
said
my
when it
YouTube
shines through
channel.
the dome.
I guarantee
I already, dude. Why do? Okay, so why is the dome explanation wrong?
I'm not saying it's wrong, although I would argue that it is wrong because there's no empirical evidence that can back any of it up, and there's no
Yeah,
explanation
it
for
is.
how it works. No, you
Yeah.
presume that the Earth is flat, and then you look at drawings and make models where light bends around in a plastic model that goes on a kitchen
Okay.
table. If you're not explaining how it works, then I don't have a reason to
Okay.
believe you.
All right, but I'm not just making this dome stuff up. There are many ancient cultures that reference a dome over the earth.
I
So
didn't
this is
ask
not
you
just me.
what dead people used to think. I've been trying to ask you
Yep.
how it works. Because anybody can make a claim.
What does that even mean?
Okay, so if I'm going to claim that the distribution of sunlight over our planet and the hours of daylight on our planet is because of the specific sun-earth relationship and the geometry of our planet, then I can build a model, a globe, with parallel light rays coming to it, and it will exactly match reality. And it's all explained right there. The light rays are parallel in the shape of the Earth, makes it inevitable that exactly half the Earth's surface is always lit, and the half of the Earth's surface that is lit is the half of the sphere that is facing the sun. In your flat Earth model, when it's summer in the southern hemisphere, far more than half the planet is lit by sunlight. And there's no explanation for how. You're confusing the claim. You're saying, here's the claim. I have no evidence. Why should I give you a reason? Whereas in my model, I have the claim, I can give you the evidence, and then I can reason behind the evidence. I can do all of those things. You can do none of those things except make a claim.
Okay. Keep spouting word salad, man, until you watch the video. Just keep spouting word salad.
Just because this is half the problem with you globies, right? Just because someone doesn't know or have the vocabulary of yourself doesn't mean they don't understand what's going on. They just can't put it into words that you will accept. And then
No,
you
they can't
flex
put
on
it
them and
into
go,
any
oh, you don't know what
words,
you're
which
talking
means
about,
they don't
and claim it as a
understand it.
win. It's a weak win, bro. It's a weak win, mate, to do that to someone and throw big word, big word, big word, big word. Oh, you can't explain it?
I
Oh,
didn't
then you don't
use
know what you're talking
I
about.
used almost no big words at all. I said stuff like sunlight and earth. And
Now, don't be a
I
smart.
think
Here's what I'm talking
Antarctica
about,
was the
man.
biggest word I used. I'm not being a smartass. What you're
You are,
saying is
bro.
literally false. You're just you're just you're just clutching
All
your
right, so,
pearls.
all right. Forget that. Forget that. Let's talk
Can
about it.
can
Let's
you
talk
okay?
about it.
Can you do what the last guy was incapable of doing?
No, because I came in halfway through this. I'm not exactly sure whether you're trying to explain crepuscular rays or what. What was the main goal of that last conversation? If you sat a half or a hemisphere of glass on top of that blue painting, that blue picture on the right, and shone a torch from the top of that fucking, prism, that is the exact light pattern that will occur. It is the exact light pattern. It's on his channel. He was trying to tell you to go and watch it. He has the half hemisphere of glass over the drawing and he shines a torch in and it makes that exact fucking pattern, bro. The exact pattern. He
That's
wasn't
great.
talking shit, man.
That's great. So what's the
No. You
claim?
just asked. You just asked how to
I
make that
asked
happen, and I just told
how.
you.
I asked how it works. So what's the claim? Is the claim
It's a
that
prism. It's a
it,
prism, mate. It's a
so the
prism.
claim is that the sun is a flashlight above the earth and
No,
there's a
no. He didn't
glass
say it was a
dome on it.
flashlight. No, don't put words into his mouth. He said he used the flashlight.
Okay, so therefore how does it work?
It's light shining through a prism. Depending on the shape of the prism, will dictate how that light splits and travels inside the prism. Put a triangle or a pyramid-shaped prism on top, and it'll do a different thing, mate. It's down to the shape of the prism that the light is shining through. That's how it works. If you want a basic, that's how it works, mate.
I don't think that actually is how it works because we have
Just because you
a
don't accept it
monumental
doesn't mean.
problem.
But why doesn't it work like that? You know how a prism works, right? How does a prism work? You tell me how a prism works.
Do you know how light
No.
works?
My turn for a question. How does a prism work? How does a prism work when light hits it? What effect does a prism have on light?
It changes direction.
Ding, 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 ding. You win the
You
prize.
haven't explained anything. So
He
yeah,
just
No,
He just
that's
said
not an
a
explanation.
glass prism on top of the painting, on top of the picture, and that was the light pattern that occurred. If he
Yeah,
had have used
so
a square prism
in
or a
your
triangle
example,
prism,
right, so in your example, we're taking a glass prism and a light source that is outside the prism. Are you saying that Earth is covered in glass and our light source is outside the glass?
so you know the theory of the firmament, right?
Right, so that's
Right. So
you're clearly not even going to try to answer the question, so we'll just
no,
do
that
something
well, I
else
am
here.
answering it, mate. You just asked a question about. So you're saying there's a
Yeah, go
piece of
ahead,
glass
answer.
there?
Go
No,
ahead. Go
he's
ahead.
using a
Go
piece
ahead.
of glass in
Go
place
ahead.
of the firmament because he can't
Yep,
make a
that's great.
firmament.
Go ahead. Go ahead, tell me. Go ahead and tell
Tell
me.
you what, you're interrupting me, mate. So I can't. I don't know what to tell
You
you.
said you were relitigating what I said, so I was just saying, fine, go on with your point about the firmament. Go on.
Well, there is no point, mate. You're
Right, so you have nothing. Okay,
you're inferring that he's coming up with this crazy idea that there's a thing of glass over us. No, that's what he could use to, replicate or demonstrate what's happening. Like,
that's great. So here's a source of light. Would you say that the light that is down here in South America comes from this source of light right here?
hang on, mate. Hang on. I'm at work, so give me 2 seconds, man. I'm just measuring something. I'll be back in a sec. So the light in South America is coming from that light source. Well, it's hard to say where that light source is. Where is it?
It's
Is it
above
over
the.
South America or is it over
It's
Africa?
not really relevant because ultimately the
Well,
source
it
of
is.
all of this. Okay, the source of all of this light is the sun. Is that not true?
Correct.
Okay, so then it's completely irrelevant where it is because the source of all of this light is that object right there. So, tell me, how does the sunlight go from here to here and then it just magically stops traveling when it gets to here, but then it stretches farther to reach the edges over here? How's that possible?
Okay. Okay. We're going to go back again. It's called a prism, and light doesn't do what it normally does when it's inside a fucking prism. It's a pretty simple concept that he's come up with, man. It's not hard to follow.
It's extremely hard to explain how anything works because the light from this sun is
No,
going
no,
in
no.
all directions.
Not once that if it's you're not applying your rules to his theory. You're trying to make his theory fit in with what you already believe. He's
His theory
saying
doesn't fit in with what you believe.
here's a new idea I'm bringing to the table, and here's what evidence I've come up with. Right now, because maybe he doesn't have a doctorate to explain it in the physics and the light patterns that you want to hear. But the fact is that he has a theory. It is valid, and he has proven it
It's not
through
valid and it
replicating
doesn't
it.
it doesn't explain
What
anything.
have you
The light
replicated and proven, mate? What have you replicated and proven in your theories?
the light from this luminary goes in all directions. Yes?
Are we talking about this picture or his theory?
That it doesn't matter. The
It does,
sun
because his
produces
theory
light.
has the sun shining through a firmament, mate. So you can't use this picture and talk about his theory. You either use his picture to talk about his theory, or you talk about it with this.
So you're telling me that the sun is outside of the dome.
That's what he's fucking trying to tell you. That's his theory, mate.
Is that what you think the case is?
I don't know because I've only just come across it. He came up with the idea, or he introduced it to me through his video. I don't know whether he's the first one to think it, but I have only just come across it, so I can't comment on it, mate. I'm not going to comment on something that I haven't
Great.
got a full
So
understanding of.
let's just I don't feel like pulling up the video because if it's an Eric Dubé video, he's a raging anti-Semite, and I'm not going to play his stuff on my channel. But so you're telling me that the model is an Earth with a glass dome over it, and then he's shining a flashlight on it. Is that what it looks like?
That's what he was trying to understand that whole time. The whole time you were talking to him and you were shutting him
Great.
down. That's all he was trying to do.
So you're telling me that somebody held a flashlight over an object and some parts of the object were completely in darkness.
Yeah, Yes, that is exactly what two people now have told you, bro. Me and him. How many eyewitnesses to this phenomena do you need before you take it on board?
I need
No, seriously, how many people need to tell you about this fucking demonstration
I
before
need
you believe
somebody to
it?
tell me how it works.
Because it is perfectly fucking doable, man. They bend light and send them in a different direction. That's what a prism does. It's not
That's
hard, man.
Yeah, that's what a prism does. So then
On
you
a
are
base level,
assuming that Earth is covered
on
in a glass dome, and we have a
yeah.
flashlight-like
And
sun outside
no,
of
no,
it.
he never said flashlight like sun. He said he used a flashlight for the experiment. Don't put words into his mouth, mate. He didn't
Right.
say the
So
sun was a flashlight. He used the flashlight for his experiment. Two different things. Two different things, mate.
so if the sun is not even like a flashlight, then his experiment is inaccurate because the sun isn't like that. So he should have used something that's like the sun.
Well,
Oh
you go and
no,
do
that
you
was
no 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 no
devastating
no
for you,
no it
wasn't
wasn't.
it? Oh,
No.
I'm sorry,
You go and do the
Mike.
experiment. You go and do the experiment with two different lights and show me that it's different. Show me that it's different, mate. You're just
You're
assuming that it's different.
contradicting yourself in real time. All right, people, here we go. So I'm confused as to why he's not pointing the force at the. It's like angling it upward. I find that to be kind of weird. So I
You can
don't.
see right here
This
the
yeah.
thing. This
It looks like it's. I mean, it looks like it wraps around. I don't know what somebody from here would see necessarily in that case. So we have a solid glass thing, and then a point light source or a spotlight like light source. Sorry. Is that a reflection of what the sun is like and what the firmament is supposed to be like?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, wait. What do you mean?
Okay. Is the firmament glass?
If it is, then that would explain why this illumination pattern happens.
Okay, but is it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
But wait. But if it is, then this is evidence that it is, because this is what we see in reality.
That
So
might be
this,
what we see in reality. The problem with this is, although the light is not hitting the certain parts of, or like it looks dark, right? Anybody standing there looking up would see the firmament above them illuminated, and that's not what happens at night.
well, it could be transparent or translucent.
What?
Well, so you're saying like we should be able to see it?
Yeah, you would see. So that light is not merely. Oh, so you're saying as the light goes through the firmament itself is transparent. The light's only illuminating the surface.
Could be.
Okay, cool. So maybe that could work. I don't think that would actually make a lot of sense because light going through the atmosphere or whatever would be, you could see it if it was a dome above us way over there. But this also assumes that the light source is not inside the firmament. So is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, so what evidence do we have of that?
This is the evidence.
This isn't evidence. This is a
Yes, it is.
model. Well, no.
Well, yes. Well, this is what we see in reality. This illumination pattern.
It's what we see, but what evidence do we have that there is we don't see a light source above a firmament? You can argue that this is a reflection of some of like the light patterns that we see on Earth, but what evidence do we have that this that there is a sun above a firmament? I okay, blinked him.